And a good afternoon from San Antonio, Texas, and the joint base here in Lackland. It's time for the 2017 Armed Forces Sports Basketball Championships. Day 3 starts with Air Force coming in undefeated at 2-0 against the 1-1 Marines. Hi, everybody. Chris Shima, glad to be with you here this afternoon. Let's meet the starting lineups for both these teams. We'll start with Air Force and head coach Captain Stuckey Scott. A little bit different starting lineup for the Air Force here today. Coach Scott starting number 1, Senior Airman Darian Donald. Number 3, First Lieutenant Justin Hammonds. Number 5, Technical Sergeant Corey Rucker. Number 10, Senior Airman Anthony Morris. And number 20, Airman First Class Charles Ian. So no Ollie Bradley and no Michael Lyons in the starting lineup. Bit of a surprise, but we'll talk a little bit more about that here in just a little bit. Now the starters for the Marines coming in at 1-1, as I mentioned, Master Gunnery Sergeant Alonzo Higginson. Starting the usual suspects, number 3, Sergeant Montanio Keenan. Number 5, First Lieutenant Kevin Alter. Number 11, Corporal Brian Baptiste. Number 15, Lance Corporal Lundell Lennon. And number 24, Corporal Domenico Jacobs. So that's the starters for both of these teams. The Air Force, the highest scoring team in this tournament. 100.5 points in the first 2 games. So what they're averaging, shooting 52% from the field and 37% from behind the arc. Michael Lyons, who will likely come off the bench today, leading his team with 29 points per game. Justin Hammonds with 19 points per ball game so far here in the tournament. Air Force in the black and blue, the Marines in the white and red, and the Marines left to right win the opening tip. The Marines getting a big victory yesterday over Navy, 92-76. The Marines shooting 47%, made 14 three-pointers. Keenan had 22, Morales with 19, and Lundell Lennon gets the Marines on the board with that jumper. Air Force likes to play fast. Justin Hammonds has been a great player in the post for the Air Force, and that's going to be good defense from Keenan there. So the Marines off that 16-point win against Navy. Yesterday, Air Force beat Army in a thriller, 88-85. Lyons had 30 points. Hammonds 19 and 7 in that game. 3 ball from Keenan is no good. Here comes Rucker and Air Force. Rucker right at a lane, off the back of the rim. And Alter played well yesterday. Alter's got 25 points here in this tournament on 9 of 25 shooting. Had some dipsy-do shots last night. As Baptiste is fouled, that shot will not count. So the Marines and Air Force meeting for the first time here in the round robin. They will conclude round robin play Monday night at 7 here local time, or 1900 hours, whatever you prefer. Alter guarded by Rucker. It's a man at the outset. Correction zone for Air Force. Looks like a 1-3-1 zone. Driving in was Jacobs. That 3 ball is long from Baptiste. Baptiste just 1 for 6 from behind the arc here in the tournament, as Ians gets Air Force on the board here 2 minutes in. Lennon looking for a cutter. Here's Alter for 3. And that shot is short. It'll be interesting to see. The Marines did play one of the later games, so shorter break in between games for them. Everybody goes through that, I think, at least once in this tournament, where you've got a shorter turnaround. Good ball movement, but the 3 by Hammonds does not go down. Justin Hammonds, 1 out of 4 here in the tournament from behind the arc, but shooting 70% coming into play here today. from the field. So he's been money in the paint, as I mentioned. Both teams cold at the start. We saw this in the first game yesterday that Air Force played against Army, and then once the teams kind of settled in, it was a whole different story as Lyons misses that three, so he's 1 for 2. Alter has it top of the key. Alter to the left, bounce pass to Lennon, turnaround baseline shot, no good. And Hammond's the board. Hammond's one of those players that coaches just love. As you see him bring it up, you know, he's good in the post. He can shoot it outside. He can bring the ball up off a rebound. And that's one of the reasons why Air Force is averaging over 100 points already here in this tournament. When you've got guys in the post who can bring the ball up and get that fast break going, it's a big advantage. Lennon had it blocked. And the pocket is picked as Alter comes up with the steal off the Air Force. Lyons. Connor Litt coming in for the Air Force, and we will have a timeout. So we'll step aside here for just a moment, come right back. Well, the road to San Antonio stopped for the Air Force with a special visitor. Who's that grumpy-looking old guy in that picture? That's Greg Popovich. The Air Force teams, both the men and women, training at the Spurs training camp. And there you see Pop and the men. Of course, Greg Popovich was a member of the Air Force. I don't know if you guys watch Inside the NBA as religiously as I do, but they showed Pop's interview after the loss to Golden State yesterday. He said, you know, it's just basketball. It's just basketball. He is an American treasure. There needs to be a statue of him somewhere at some point. Gotta love Pop. So Pop got to work out. Yeah, Steve Denote said that most people's houses in San Antonio have one already. One of the greats in the game of basketball throughout the history of the game, Greg Popovich, and he's always been very good to this tournament, especially the Air Force, obviously, for sentimental reasons, as he was a member of the Air Force. Into the forecourt, it's Alter for three, and right now the shot's just not falling for either team. 4.5 minutes in, and we are tied at 2. Morris has come on. Anthony Morris, stationed in Alabama. Allen on the right with the hand in his face, misses it short, and Jacobs the rebound. The Marines getting that victory. It was their first victory in the last 2 tournaments as Jacobs scores for 3. Domenico Jacobs 2 for 7 from downtown here today. Ball deflected out, will stay on this end. 2 team fouls on the Air Force. None yet for the Marines as we're about 5.5 minutes in. Lyons short on the turnaround. Lit the offensive rebound, and Lyons puts it back up and in. Isaiah had a great game yesterday. It was the guard play really in the second half for the Marines that took down Navy by 16 points. Jacobs driving baseline. Keenan steps to the left, over Lit. Way too strong. Jacobs gets the rebound. And the shot clock expires. So shot clock violation gives the ball back to Air Force. They trail 5-4 here in the first half. I know many of you probably at work, but if you're able to, want to, feel free to use the YouTube chat. Love to hear from you. I believe that Alter got a steal, and then taking it right back was Allen. Leaves it underneath for Ians. Count it. And the foul. So Ians will go to the line for the first time here in this tournament. Charles Ians, just 4 points in 2 games, but he's come in and played well, getting an opportunity to start for Air Force here today. He gives his team a 7-5 lead. Alter the bounce pass. Lennon fouled on the floor. It's the first on the Air Force. Three subs coming in now. It's Justice Graham, number 12, number 15, Kyle Brookheis on for the first time here in this tournament for Air Force. And also coming in is Maurice Hargraves. So Air Force is using a bit of its bench, and we saw this from a couple of teams yesterday. You know, 7 games in 7 days. You've kind of got to rest guys here and there. And so Brookheis getting an opportunity off the bench with a couple of other guys getting some extra minutes that maybe later on here in the tournament. They're going to call a foul on the Marines, and it's going on Isaiah, who protests. Just 2 on the Marines, 3 on the Air Force here in this first half. So at the line is Hargraves. And Hargraves making his second appearance in the tournament with his first point. Tomorrow it's Air Force and Navy at 7 p.m. The Marines will play Army at 1 p.m. Excuse me, at 3 p.m. Another sub on for the Marines is number 1. That's Dominique Moody as Alter goes to the bench. So Moody in the backcourt with Keenan. Jacobs also out there with Lennon. And also Isaiah. That's the 5 for the Marines. Moody threw it away. Hargraves throws it full court. Allen is grabbed. So Allen held in transition. Lit on the court with Justice Graham, Brookheis, also Hargraves and Allen. Brookheis. Here's Hargraves. Allen with 10 to shoot, driving in. Hargraves can't get it to go. Rebound controlled by Lennon for the Marines. Isaiah for 3. Grazes the rim. Graham with the board. Out on the run. Allen. Brookheis yet. Nope, he's called for steps. So traveling is the call. And we will have a timeout. 12:02 left to go here in the first half. We'll step aside and come back here in just a moment. Well, there you see the standings at the start of today. So Air Force, if they can get this victory, would sweep the first round of the round robin play. And the Marines looking for their second victory. Inside 12 minutes to go. Chris Shima, glad to be with you here in San Antonio. Isaiah open look for three. Can't get it to go. Keenan the offensive rebound, and he's held on the floor. That's number 4 on the Air Force as Hargraves picks up his first foul. So the Air Force going into its bench a little bit here today. Michael Lyons did not start. We haven't seen him yet. Stepping into a 3, Moody. And again, just not a lot of legs right now in the shots for the Marines as everything's coming up short. Lit to the bucket, blocked from behind, stays with it. Unable to get the second effort. Tip for the rebound, Stewart got it to Moody. 2-on-1, Moody to Keenan, yes. Keenan shooting 50% coming into play and 13.5 points per game over the first couple. Another sub as Allen goes out. Coming in for Air Force is Anthony Morris. So both teams with 4 team fouls after that last Marines foul, which went on Stewart. Morris, that pass is thrown away by Hargraves. Moody into the forecourt. Inside 11 minutes to go. Isaiah. Keenan, turnaround shot, rims in. Keenan starting to heat up. Back-to-back buckets for him. And we are even at 9. Litz passes off the mark, and Air Force is sloppy here in this first half. The Marines came in, allowing teams to shoot 48%, so defense has at times been a problem, but turnover there for the Marines. They do have 21 steals coming into play. So they've been active defensively. Sometimes when you gamble, you could give up an easy bucket or two, and that might be why those stats are so wonky there. Morris for 3. Back rim. Here's Stewart with the board. Now it's Moody. Jacobs takes the 3. Moody, open look. And again, it's short. Tipped up by Stewart, no. And then a foul is going to be called on Air Force. It's going on Graham. Kevin Alter and Dominique Moody getting set to check back in for the Air Force as Sean Stewart goes to the line. Stewart, first free throw attempts here in the tournament, here on day 3. Other sub for the Marines. Brian Baptiste is back out there. Domenico Jacobs will sit down. Stewart, good on both. So the Marines back up by 2 in this low-scoring first half. And that favors the Marines. Strong to the bucket. Rucker tying it up. Air Force has been a better second half team. They're averaging about 56 points per game in the second half. So it's taken them a while here in this tournament to get open. 16 foul on the Air Force as Graham picked up his second. So the Marines will be in the bonus over the final 9:26. Moody driving. Nice pass underneath the reverse. Keenan can't get it to go, though. Rebound controlled by Hammonds, who's back out there. So Hammonds and Rucker out there with Donald, Brookhuis, and also Morris. Baptiste threw it away. Morris turns on the Jets, 3-on-2, and Donald had it rejected. I believe it was Keenan. Baptiste looking for him, and game going a little too fast there for the Marines. Alter coming back in for Moody for the Marines. So the Marines have Alter in the backcourt with Baptiste. Stewart, also Keenan, and Isaiah. That's the 5 on the floor for them. Rucker for 3, short. Baseline shot, no, but he draws contact and will go to the line. It's team foul number 5 on the Marines. Corey Rucker, perfect 5 out of 5 from the charity stripe so far in this tournament. Rucker stays perfect. Lundell Lennon coming back in as Sean Stewart goes out for the Marines. Rucker first miss as he goes 1 out of 2, but Air Force does get a slim lead back. Past 8.5 to go here in the first half. Alter, Isaiah on the right. .12 to shoot. Keenan, pass deflected and taken away. Here's Morris. Out on the run, Donald, and a blocking foul is called on the Marines. So both teams are in the bonus now, and it'll be 2 shots for Darian Donald, who's 2 out of 2 from the charity stripe. When we come back, 8:02 left to go here in the first half. A tight, low-scoring affair here in Game 1 on Day 3. Well, neither team really lighting it up here. The Marines shooting just 21%, 24% for the Air Force. 4 out of 17 for the Air Force and 4 out of 19 for the Marines. Rebounding 16-13 in favor of the Marines as they've pulled down 5 offensive rebounds. And both teams with 3 assists on 4 made baskets, so they're sharing the basketball just fine. It's just... it's Day 3, folks, and Day 3 of 7, and the leg's not there right now for really either team. Chris Sheba, glad to be with you here in San Antonio. Couple of subs out of the timeout for the Marines as Isaiah buries a triple. So Isaiah giving his team the lead back. Isaiah has taken 26 shots, 22 of them from behind the arc. His shooting coming into play, over 52% from three-point range. Good defense there by the Marines to pick up a steal. It was Johnson who's come in, so Jordan Johnson checking in for the first time. That ball was deflected out. They say last touch by the Air Force. You see a lot of bodies shuffling in and out. Allen back out there for the Air Force, and Jacobs returning for the Marines. Will we see Lyons today? Will we see Ollie Bradley today? Both of them started the first two games. Neither of them have played so far here. Alter over to Jacobs. Jacobs. Lennon for three. Yes. So the Marines with a 6-0 run as they take a 5-point lead. Morris on the right side, driving in, stripped. Johnson the steal. Throws it out to Alter. Can't get it to go, but it's tipped back up and in by Johnson. 8-0 run now for the Marines. Johnson, just his second field goal here in the tournament. Offensive foul by Hammonds. As I mentioned, both teams are over the limit. Both teams but offensive fouls, you don't shoot free throws. So Marines now, this is Johnson getting it over. Corner three, no good from Baptiste. Hammonds brings it up. Open look, Rucker. And the rebound by Jacobs. Johnson on the near side. Alter drives in, gets it to go. This is a 10-0 run now for the Marines. 21-12. Allen over to Hammonds. Hammonds floats it up and gets the bounce. Nearing 5 minutes to go here in this first half. That ends a 10-0 run as the Marines lead by 7. Alter from way downtown, a little short. Brookheist returns, pulls down the rebound. Now Allen in the front court. Allen had it poked away, and did the Marines get it? Nope, they're going to call a foul actually on Alter. So free throws here in the 1-and-1 for the Air Force. Both teams now with 17 fouls. More bodies coming in and out. Connor Litt returning for the Air Force, for the Marines. Domenico Jacobs back out there. Davion Allen, 50% free throw shooter so far in the tournament at the line for a 1-and-1. Missed it. Offensive rebound, though, to Air Force. And an offensive foul as Morris called for it. Taking the charge was Johnson. pressure being shown by Air Force here. Keenan will inbound it. Jacobs into the forecourt. Here's Keenan between the circles. Alter with 7 on the shot clock, gets it out. 3 ball no good from Jacobs. Here's Rucker into the forecourt. Hammonds gets it back on the give and go from Litt, and he's fouled, so he'll go to the line and shoot 2. It's team foul number 8 on the Marines. First free throw rims in. Justin Hammond's a good free throw shooter, 82% so far in the tournament. Baptiste back out there for Johnson for the Marines. Pulling down the rebound was Keenan. Alter scoops it to Baptiste. Baptiste rejected by Litt. Isaiah with the hand in his face, missed it back rim. Tip for the rebound, it's bounced around. Baptiste comes up with it, and then he's fouled. So more free throws to come. So Baptiste, it's a 1-and-1. That was the 9th team foul on the Air Force. So double bonus from here on out for the Marines. Baptiste rims in the first one. Baptiste now 2 out of 3 from the charity stripe here in the tournament. And gets them both. So to lead back to 8 now for the Marines. 3:47 left to play here in this opening half. Rucker gets it to Litt. Litt for 3, way off. Baptiste the rebound, and he brings it up. Isaiah over to Jacobs. Here's Alter. Bounce pass out. Baptiste takes it to the baseline. Can't get it to go. Litt another rebound, and over aggressive going for the steal was Baptiste there. So that's the 9th now on the Marines. So both teams will be in the double bonus going forward. Right now a 1-and-1 for the Air Force. Darian Donald coming back in as Connor Litt goes out for the Air Force. Hammonds will shoot the 1-and-1, as I mentioned, over 82% from the charity stripe here in the tournament as he rims in the first one. And 2 out of 2. 6-point game, 23-17. The Marines with the basketball leading by 6. They've led by as many as 9. 3 from Keenan off the back of the rim. Rebound controlled by Morris for the Air Force. Air Force, if you're just joining us, I mentioned it earlier, came in averaging 100.5 points per game. They've got 17 with 2:47 left to go. Strong move by Donald, though, and the lead down to 4. Air Force resting Michael Lyons and Ollie Bradley so far here today, though, so keep that in mind. when you look at the scoreboard. .12 to shoot. Jacobs. Alter, open look. Missed it. Donald the board. And his pass deflected out. Last touch by Isaiah. Coming in for the Marines is Lundell Lennon. Lennon came in 13 points, 15 rebounds, and 4 blocks so far in the tournament. Rucker into the forecourt. Morris. Donald top of the key, back to him. Morris drives in, at it stripped, so with 10 on the shot clock, Air Force will inbound right to the basket. Hammonds, yes. So the Marines led at one point, 21-12. Since then, 9-2 run for the Air Force. They've closed the gap. The lead is 2. Approaching 90 seconds left to go here in this opening half. Turnaround shot good from Keenan. That's a foul on Keenan. Make sure his opponent is okay, so Donald will go to the line for 2. Both teams in the double bonus for the final 128. The Air Force defeating Navy 113-97 on Wednesday, 88-85 over Army yesterday. The Marines lost in a blowout against Army, 97-59 on Wednesday. Winning over Navy by 16 yesterday. Jordan Johnson back out there for the Marines. So 2 out of 2 from the charity stripe. It's a 2-point game again. Moody. Moody to the bucket, in and out. Hammond's the rebound, and he's fouled over the back. So we'll walk down to the other end of the court and shoot more free throws. And Hammond's, as I mentioned earlier, pretty much automatic from the charity stripe. Swishes through the first one. Connor Litt coming in for the Air Force in a moment. Also coming in for the Marines is Sean Stewart, who replaces Keenan. Keenan picked up his second foul, so cautious sub from Coach Higginson. 1 out of 2 at the line, a rare miss for Hammonds. So the Marines maintaining a slim 25-24 lead. Jacobs to the bucket. Shot was blocked by Hammonds, and then they say Jacobs touched it last. So Connor Litt coming back in as Hammonds will go out for this final 58 seconds. Rucker had it poked away. Johnson, the steal, throws full court, and that is coming right over near us. So it'll stay with the Marines. 27 to shoot. Jacobs. Jacobs with the hand in his face. The rainbow shot, no. And there's about a 6-second difference between game and shot clock. Morris lit underneath, had trouble with his footing, had the pass it back out. Here's Rucker for three, too strong. Donald offensive rebound. He'll try it again. Will Morris, can't get that one to go either. Now Johnson out on the run. And he threw it away, out of control. He should have pulled it back and held it for the final shot. Instead, a bad pass, trying to force the action, and Air Force will get a chance at the final shot here in the half. A blocking foul actually going to be called with 1.6 seconds, and that'll send Morris to the free throw stripe. Anthony Morris, 1 for 1 at the free throw stripe, coming in the play here today. Morris rims in the first one, tied at 25. And gets them both. So Air Force comes back, takes the lead, and with 1 second from half court, that's going to come up short from Moody. So Air Force leads after 20 minutes of play, 26-25. We'll go away, bring you the second half action here in just a little bit. Don't go too far. We'll be back in about 10-15 minutes. Start of the second half, a low-scoring affair. Air Force with a 1-point lead. Neither team over 30% in the first half. Air Force 7 of 25 shooting, 28%, but went 12 out of 18 from the charity stripe. The Marines at 24% on 9 of 37, just 4 out of 4 from the charity stripe. So those are the main differences. One change in the starting lineups for the Air Force as Michael Lyons is starting the second half instead of Charles Ians, who started the ball game. So Lyons, who rested for the first 20 minutes, out there to try to help his team out to a 3-0 start. Leading scorers after 20 minutes of play, Justin Hammond's leading everybody with 8 points on 2 of 3 shooting to go along with 6 rebounds. 7 for Ians, who did a good job starting for the first time here in the tournament today on 3 of 6 shooting. He had 7 points. For the Marines, Keenan with 6 points on 3 of 7 shooting and 5 points for Lundell Lennon. So that's your first half stats as Alter buries a triple and the Marines retake the lead. The Marines led by as many as 9 in the first half. It was 21-12 at that point. Air Force led a couple of times too with slim leads mainly. Strong to the bucket. Morris draws the foul. Lennon picking up the foul. That's his third. Morris. Making the first and can tie it up here. He does. So Morris for the Air Force with 4 points, all on free throws. Perfect 4 out of 4 from the charity stripe here this afternoon. Game 1 of 4 here today. Air Force and Marines women will play 20 minutes after this game is complete, or at 3 p.m. And then Army-Navy. First the guys at 5, and then the ladies at 7. That should be a fun conclusion to the first leg of round-robin play. So everybody plays each other twice. So we'll reset starting tomorrow. The Marines will take on Army tomorrow at 3, and then the Air Force will take on Navy at 7 tomorrow. Navy fell to the Air Force by 16, and the Marines lost to Army in a blowout. Air Force sloppy turnover. That is turnover number 13 on the Air Force. 8 for the Marines. It's not been a pretty game. A lot of fouls, a lot of bad shooting, and a lot of turnovers. Picking up the foul was Corey Rucker. Two team fouls for the Air Force here in the early going, 1 for the Marines. Jacobs out to Alter. Alter looking to drive on Donald, scoops it up. Donald with the block, and they call another foul. Donald doesn't like the call. Played pretty good defense, but they say there was contact, so Alter will go to the line. Alter, first free throws today, just 1 out of 6 shooting. Coming into the second half, connects on that free throw. Alter, so far in the tournament, now 3 out of 5 from the charity stripe. Make it 4 of 6. So the Marines by 5. Into the forecourt, Rucker. Here's Donald. Around the rim, no on the three. Keenan chases down the board. Alter backs it out. Rucker on him. Now Donald on the switch. Step back three. Alter can't get it. Here's Lyons. Lyons slipped, and look out. In transition, 3-on-1, missed dunk by Lennon, but it's cleaned up by Baptiste. So the lead is 7, 3 minutes into the second half for the Marines. Their biggest lead today has been 9. Morris over to Rucker. Rucker blocked but fouled by Baptiste. So Rucker goes to the line. Corey 1 out of 2 from the charity stripe so far today. That's team foul number 2 on the Marines, 3 already for Air Force. Alter comes out, Moody in for the Marines. Donald is out, and coming in is Allen for the Air Force. Timeout by the Air Force. We will step aside with 16:56 left to go in the ball game. (35-30), the Marines with the basketball and the lead. Chris Sheeman, glad to be back with you here in San Antonio. Joint base Lackland. Into the forecourt for the Marines is Moody, and who would have thought this? Air Force running through the first 2 games against both Navy and Army, and the Marines, who had not won a game in 2 years in this tournament, and in 2014 when they did win, they won only 1 time, are now 1-1 and in good position here to go to 2-1 and take first place here after the first round of round robin play. Air Force continues to be sloppy as they turn the ball over, and Lennon is hurt for the Marines as he landed awkwardly. So he'll try to walk it off here. And I believe they will sub, as Stewart will come in and Lennon will go to the bench. So hopefully just a tweak and Lennon will be able to get out there, but right now, Sean Stewart coming in for him. Stewart 2 points, 2 rebounds here today. Moody. Stewart right off the bench. Shot in and out. Put back by Keenan, no good. And a whistle as Lyons pulled down the rebound. And he's called for the foul. That's team foul number 4 already on the Air Force here, just 4 minutes in to this second half. Jacobs to inbound it. Fresh 30 now for the Marines as Moody comes up with it. Moody guarded by Allen in the man-to-man. Baptiste. Bounce pass over to Moody. Fakes the shot. Takes it baseline and got caught up in the air, but it's last touch by Lyons. Out of bounds. So we'll stay on this side of the court. 2 subs coming in. Jordan Johnson for the Marines and Maurice Hargraves for the Air Force. Keenan will sit for the Marines, and Morris is out for the Air Force. There's an illegal screen set on the inbound on Stewart. Correction, it was on Moody. So that's 3 now on the Marines, and the turnover gives the ball back to Air Force. And this is the kind of game it's been between these two teams. Floater is short by Allen. Skying for the rebound is Johnson. And another foul is Hargraves with the bump. That is team foul number 5. So a foul a minute so far for the Air Force here in the second half. 3 for the Marines. Moody. Baptiste. Double teams. And timeout called by the Marines to bail out a double team. So we'll step aside here briefly and come back in just a moment. Well, we've had a couple of people on the YouTube chat. Maurice, on the Marines. Also hi to Dominique, another Marines fan, or in fact her husband, Domenico Jacobs, playing. So hi to those folks who have been chatting with us here this afternoon. Chris Shima, glad to be back with you. A little more subdued here this afternoon, trying to give the voice a little bit of a break. So if I sound a little bit like Jim Nantz doing golf, I apologize, but trying to take care of it. 35-30, the Marines out of the timeout, nearing 5 minutes into this second half. Here's Jacobs on the right side, guarded by Lyons. Now Stewart goes in, and the shot clock expires. So the Marines unaware of the shot clock situation out of the timeout, and this turnover happy game continues. Alter coming back in, as is Isaiah for Moody and Baptiste for the Marines. Hargraves, here's Hammonds. Lyons trying to get on the board, yes, and the foul. So Michael Lyons did not start today. His first appearance was here in this second half. That's his first bucket. Michael Lyons from the charity stripe is 6 of 13 on the season. Lyons averaging 29 points per game coming in. Shooting 58% from the field, and completes the old school three-point play to cut the Air Force deficit down to 2. Alter into the forecourt. Here's Jacobs. Jacobs called for the offensive foul. I mean, that's one of those calls. I mean, do we really need that? It was a turnover. The Air Force came up with it. sometimes it's okay to just swallow the whistle and let the play develop. Not only does that hurt the Marines, it might have prevented an Air Force fast break. So 5 team fouls for both teams with 14:30 left to go. Coming back in for the Marines is Undell Lennon. Rucker driving, floats it up, in and out, tipped up, no. Hammond's had it picked. Cross court, Rucker open look. 3 ball, no good. Hammond's out near midcourt. Michael Lyons from way downtown, yes. 36-35 Air Force. Hi to the folks watching at the Air Force Academy here this afternoon. Also checking in on YouTube. 3 ball in the corner, no good for the Marines. That's number 14. I don't have a number 14 on my roster. 3 for Allen, can't get it to go. Skying for the rebound is Lennon. Do you know who number 14 is for the Marines? Okay, so that's Keenan, who had to switch jerseys. 3 is up and in as Alter buries his second 3 here today. So Keenan wearing 14. Allen to the cutter, Hammond, spinning, shooting, scoring. All right, play starting to pick up here. Alter into the forecourt now, inside 13 minutes to go. And he's going to be bumped by Allen. That's team foul number 6 on Air Force. The Marines shuffling continues as Baptiste comes in for Jacobs. Hi as well to Kurt, watching in Houston. Rooting on Michael Lyons. Congrats to your baseball team, Kurt. You're lucky you didn't have to play the Indians this year. I kid, of course. You'd have killed Cleveland. Baptiste can't get the jumper to go. Lyons the rebound. Lyons raises, scores again. So Lyons with 8 here in the second half. I talked about it yesterday. Maybe Kurt can chime in here. I looked it up. Michael Lyons, who played in the G League last year with the Erie Bayhawks. I had him listed as signed by the South Bay Lakers, but I don't see him on the roster. So I don't know if I know that he was on their training camp roster, but I don't know what his plans are past this tournament. Wanted to talk to Coach Scott about it before the game, but other responsibilities took over. So if anybody knows anything about that, feel free to give me a shout. No speculation, please. Just let me know if you know or you don't. It's okay. Alter out near midcourt, nearing 12 minutes to go. Marines trailing by 2. Thanks in part to Lyons, who's come off the bench. Keenan drawing the foul. Yes, the bucket will count. So Keenan will go to the line and try to complete an old school 3-point play. Keenan first free throw here today. So far in the tournament, just 0 for 1 from the charity stripe. Hargraves comes out. Darian Donald back out there. Old school 3-point play is complete. 41-40 in favor of the Marines. Lyons with the basketball. Alter on him. That pass underneath, deflected. Good defense again by Lennon to come up with the steal. Out to Keenan, who throws it down with the right hand. Now it's a steal by Alter. Sloppy passing in this ball game from the Air Force to the bucket. Isaiah rejected. by Lyons. And getting tripped up and fouled is Allen. That will be team foul number 6. So Kurt said he was drafted by the South Bay Lakers. We don't know, though, whether or not he'll be playing for them. And like I said, I know he was on the training camp roster. I had assumed he was playing, but the G League season starting, I believe it might have started for some teams already, but it starts in full force this weekend. Lyons, he was on the mark, just missed it short. That was good defense from Keenan. Still extra possession for Air Force. Floated up and in by Rucker. 1-point game. Alter. Here's Baptiste. He's bumped by Hammonds. Both teams are in the bonus, so we will have a 1-and-1. And Air Force will call for time, so we'll step aside. 10:35 left to go here in the ball game, and a good one shaping up between Air Force and the Marines. We'll be right back. Well, there's what's at stake. If the Marines get this victory, they would take over first place. Shima, glad to be back with you. Day 3 of 7 here in this tournament. Baptiste at the line for the 1-and-1, connects to extend the lead out to 2 for the Marines. And good on the second as well, so 45-42. Both teams in the bonus over the final second part of this second half. Lyons to Allen, back to him. Lyons drives, blocked by Baptiste. And it'll stay with the Air Force. The Marines saying that Lyons touched it last, that it was deflected. So Rucker will inbound. Here's Donald for 3. That went halfway down, came back out. Lennon the board. Set the 5 on the floor for you. It's Lennon and Keenan, who's wearing number 14, with Alter for the Marines. Also Isaiah and Baptiste. Keenan can't get the jumper, but he's fouled by Donald. So Donald, Hammonds, Lyons, Allen, and Rucker. That's the 5 for Air Force. And again, both teams have been doing a lot of shuffling in and out, keeping everybody fresh. So the first free throw by Keenan up and good. The lead is 4. That was the 9th team foul on the Air Force. Second free throw no good. Lyons the rebound. Inside 10 minutes to go here in this second half. Scoop shot, no, by Donald. Tried to follow it. It's deflected out of bounds. And it's last touched by the Marines. Rucker to inbound it. So Rucker to inbound it. Allen top of the key. It's Donald from way downtown. Missed it side rim. Offensive rebound. Hammonds out to Lyons for three. Yes. He's in double figures now with 11 points. Again, playing only in this second half. He was rested for the first part of this ball game. Alter on the give and go from Keenan scores. Nice pass by Keenan and nice finish by Alter. Guy's just 5'6", getting a lot on the inside, and now an offensive foul is called on Air Force, and it's called on Donald. That's his third, so Donald can't believe it. Into the forecourt, Alter. Alter for three, yes! The Marines came in heavily as the underdogs in this tournament. And they're 8:51 away from first place here on day 3. Still a long way to go, obviously, but over the last 2 games, the Marines have fought very hard, and now Donald, another Air Force turnover. Connor Litt will come in for Donald. Alter into the forecourt, guarded by Rucker. Here's Keenan. Isaiah back to Keenan for three off the back of the rim as Lyons pulls down the rebound. Lyons surveys, takes it himself and scores. 13 for Lyons, all in this second half. Timeout by the Marines, so we'll go away again. 8:02 left to go in the ball game. A good finish shaping up. We'll be right back. Out of the timeout, the Marines with the basketball, 21 on the shot clock, 8 minutes left to go in the ball game, and the Marines surprising, leading Air Force 51-47. Keenan drives in, throws it up, throws it in. How about the day for Keenan, who came in with 27 points in the first 2 games, averaged close to 12 last year in this tournament. Lyons, oh, that went in and out from that same spot where he's hit a couple of 3-pointers. Alter into the forecourt. Guarded by Hammonds. Swings it to Isaiah, triggers a triple. In and out and back in. The Marines matching its biggest lead of the day at 9. The last time they had this lead was 21-12. Falling down is Rucker. Alter, the steal. Isaiah for 3 off the back of the rim. Rebound by Hammonds. But they call him for over the back, I think. Double bonus, so Keenan will go to the line to shoot 2. This would be the biggest win for the Marines in the last at least 2 tournaments. Remember, they went 0-7 last year. There was no tournament in 2015. They won just 1 time in 2014. And then there was no tournament in 2013 because of the government shutdown. 2012, they fared better, finishing with bronze. Right now, their biggest lead is 11, and look out. That's going to be out of bounds. And the Air Force have to stop the momentum. Stuckey Scott asked for time. We will go away again. 6:49 left to go in the game. And the Marines by 11. .649 left to go. 58-47 the Marines here on day 3. Don't forget the women's game will start 20 minutes after this one. Air Force and the Marines. Here's Isaiah on the far side, and he's bumped by Morris. So double bonus. Both teams are in the bonus. Isaiah at the line, swishes in the first. These 2 teams will play on Monday to wrap up the round robin. And will it be for first place? 60-47. Air Force with the basketball. They've got some work to do. Rutgers slipped a couple of times. Morris to the bucket. He's fouled, and he'll go to the line. They have called this game very tight. That's team foul number 7. Morris was in the act of shooting, though, so he'll get 2. Morris 2 out of 2 today from the charity stripe. They really brought the AC down. It's actually pretty cold in here, but still some wet spots out on the court. We saw it more yesterday when it was a little more humid. Both teams shooting 32% in the game. The shooting has picked up significantly, though, in this second half. How about that? Off the missed free throw, Morris, yes, in the foul. So Air Force can turn this into a 4-point play. 4 fouls now. on the Marines. It was called on Baptiste, so he's got 4 fouls. 3-point play complete just like that. It's a 9-point game. Justin Ammons a double-double already for Air Force with 10 and 12. 13 for Michael Lyons off the bench. 18 for Kevin Alter, who's got the basketball. Keenan's got 16. That's your leading scorers so far in this one. Strong move to the bucket by Alter, can't get it to go. Lyons had it poked away. Alter thought about it. Driving Baptiste. Johnson can't get it to go. Jordan Johnson missing both. That was thrown ahead. How about the defense by Alter? That's the 12th steal and 23rd turnover for the Air Force. Johnson misses a 3. Lyons scoops it up. No. And the rebound by Johnson. Alter into the forecourt. Isaiah for 3. Yes! The Marines go back up by 12. 5 minutes left to go. Connor Litt for 3. Missed it. Domenico Jacobs coming back into the ball game as Baptiste will go out. Dewan Isaiah also returning. So Johnson will come out. So it's Keenan and Jacobs alongside Alter, Isaiah, and Baptiste. And a timeout by the Marines. 4:46 left to go. We will go away yet again. The Marines with the basketball, leading by 12. Alter out of the timeout to Isaiah. Open look, Jacobs instead will pass it. Now a turnover. Taken away by Hammonds. Good defense by him. Hammonds gets it back. Goes to the bucket, throws it down. Hammonds on both ends of the floor. Alter, it's poked away. Coming up with the steal is Lyons, but he's called for traveling. So the Marines will get it back. Jacobs will inbound left of the hoop. And a technical foul's been called on Stuckey Scott for the Air Force, and he's been begging for one this entire second half. So remember, it's college rules. That means 2 shots on the tee as Isaiah goes to the line. First free throw, no good. One out of two. Lead back to 11, 64-53. And again, Jacobs will inbound it. Alter goes behind the back, his pocket pick, 3-on-2. Here's Lyons, too strong. Hammonds gets the offensive rebound. Driving in, and Morris gets it to go. Looked like a lot of contact on Lyons, but no call, and starting to see why Stuckey Scott's so upset. Keenan airballs the three. Here's Hammonds. Open look, lit, no. Lyons tried to throw it down on the rebound. It goes out of bounds. Baptiste back out there for the Marines as Lennon sits down. Baptiste into the forecourt. Nice cut. Alter can't get the layup, though. Lyons into the forecourt. Lyons to the hoop, pulls up, and they say the foul was on the floor. Again, college rules. In the NBA, you get continuation for that, but not in the college game. So Lyons goes to the line for two. Both teams are in a double bonus. Correction, that was just the 19th foul, so Lyons misses the front end of the 1-and-1. Now here comes the Marines. Baptiste will back it out. Alter overlit. 66-55. The pressure on now for the Air Force team. Hammonds gets the reverse. With 2:38 left to go, the Marines will play slow, try to run some clock. Alter backs it out. 17 to shoot. The Marines in no hurry. Alter for three. Lyons the rebound. Here comes Air Force. Bounce pass to the cutter, Hammonds, but they call an offensive foul. Alter taking the charge. And with 2:11 left to go, Stuckey Scott will call for time. Things not looking good for the Air Force. How about the Marines leading by 9? We'll be back. give it the game reset here with 2:11 left to go. Chris Shima, glad to be back with you. So the score, 9-point advantage for the Marines. Both teams are in the double bonus. Possession arrow does favor Air Force. Marines with the basketball out of the timeout. Looking to run some clock is Baptiste. At what point, if you're Air Force, do you think about starting the foul? Probably need a defensive stop and another made bucket. Keenan over Litz. Keenan's played well today. Lyons looking to answer back. He does. And a wet spot out on the court. And this is stopped here. Hargraves coming in. Connor Litt will come out. So the Marines with the basketball. 1:41 left to go. 3-possession game if you factor in the threes. And Lyons had it poked it away, I should say. It'll be last touched by him. Full court press being shown by Air Force here. Alter into the forecourt. Here's Jacobs. Jacobs back to Alter. Isaiah. Keenan, 6 to shoot now. Jacobs to the bucket. Jacobs, no. Tipped up by Keenan, no. Second effort, yes. And that might do it. 1:07 left to go. Air Force has to go quickly. Lyons forces it and draws a foul. Jacobs can't believe it. You've got to know, though, how the game has been officiated. The officials have been very consistent. It's been very tightly called. And when Lyons is forcing up a shot from 30 feet out, let him take it. Obviously, he's got that range. So Lyons will shoot 3. 1:01 left to go. Good on the first. Lyons has struggled a little bit from the charity stripe here in this tournament. Second one is good, so he's got at least 2 out of the 3. Lennon checking in. Jacobs will go out. All 3 for Lyons. It's an 8-point game. And a foul. So Lennon will go to the line. Both teams in the double bonus. Lennon at the line. First free throws today for Lennon in the tournament. His first free throws overall. And the first one up and in. Darian Donald coming in. Jacobs will return for the Marines for the shooter Lennon. And the lead is 10 again. So Jacobs in for Lennon. Again, the Air Force has to go quickly here. Donald. 3 by Allen. Yes. So Allen buries a 3 from the right side. And the ball poked out of bounds. 52 seconds left to go. Air Force trying to extend the game. And before the inbound, a foul called on the Air Force. So it's Alter at the line for 2. Alter today, 2 out of 2. Kevin Alter, 4 out of 6 here in the tournament from the charity stripe. Got the first one. And makes them both. So the lead is 9. Morris can't get it to go. Jacobs the rebound. Jacobs will bring it into the forecourt. Alter is going to be fouled. And the Marines are going to win it. They're going to be in first place. Remember, Army did beat the Marines, so if Army wins today and they go to 2-1, they would move into first place. Still a long way to go. So if you're a fan of the Marines, you got to be very, very happy. (74-65), Alter missing the first. He will get the second, though. The lead is 10. Allen had it poked away. The shot clock is off. Jacobs is fouled and is holding his head, but gets up quickly. He did not appreciate that foul. His teammates calm him down. Certainly no ill intent by Lyons, if it was Lyons who fouled him. Just a hard foul. It's a flagrant 1 on Lyons. So 2 shots and the basketball back for the Marines. And Stuckey Scott's going to empty his bench here over the final 24 seconds. So Jacobs rims in the first one as the Marines put a little sprinkles on the Sunday and what will be their second victory in a row here in this tournament for the first time since 2012, I believe. So Justice Graham back in. Brookheist returning. And again, Marines with the basketball. They can run this out. Gaddison on for the first time. It's Ajuan Gaddison who will dribble it out with the shot clock off. How about the Marines? 2-1. And here on day 3, they take first place, at least for the moment, winning over Air Force 77-65. These two teams will meet Monday at 7 p.m. That should be interesting, to say the least. We'll see how it all plays out, but for right now, it's the Marines and Air Force, both 2-1 after 3 days of play. Folks, we've got to go. 20 minutes from now, the women's Air Force and Marines game will start, so we'll go away and bring you that game here in just a little bit. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll talk to you again here in 20 minutes.